Hey, this is Matt from The Second Spirit, and I want to tell you about the importance of capturing MIDI. At first, I didn't think it was a big deal. You know, oh, cool, it records on its own. But if you guys don't know what it is, it basically, you could just be jamming, and then it will record incoming MIDI notes on its own, so you don't have to push the record button. And I found this so useful for jotting down ideas. Like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal at first, but now I end up using it a lot. So I'm going to go over capturing MIDI, all the ins and outs of it, and what it can do for you to help get your ideas down. So this is how capturing MIDI works. One thing it does is it will set the BPM of your project to the kind of the phrases you're playing. So you don't have to worry about setting a BPM. If you have the record button on any track, that's what it's going to capture to. Another thing to remember when you're trying to capture MIDI, it's good to end on the first downbeat. So if you do a phrase, try to end on the next downbeat. That helps Ableton try to pick out the phrase and pick the tempo for you. So just you don't have to think too much, but if you can, just try to lap it so it goes into the next phrase and with a downbeat on the one. So here's kind of an idea I'm working on. Let's see. I hope I mess up. There, I messed up. Okay, see, since I'm using capturing MIDI, I don't have to think about recording or not recording. I can just keep playing with this idea until I get it down, somewhat down, then I can edit it. So let's try it again. Sometimes it's hard to think about. You don't have to worry about too much. But if you can end on the one, that's good. And then, so I had some mess ups in there. I didn't have to push record. I got an idea down. See this little box here, up in the top by the transport, that little square box, is going to throw that MIDI in there. And also, look over here. It set the tempo to 141. It figured out what the tempo was of that little phrase I made. So it tried to pick out, it recorded everything that I recorded, everything I played. I didn't have to push record on and off. It's great for getting ideas down. You don't have to think too much. I try to end on the one, but if it's too much thinking, don't worry about it. But if you can, try to end on the one beat. And here's the phrase. Let's see. Actually, it's this last one here, 4 bars. So now I could just go in and set the start right here. So there's the little phrase, and it set it right at the right tempo and everything. I didn't have to figure out a tempo or nothing like that. So let's go ahead and let's quantize this. I got some triplets, so actually let's crop this first. That's the part I like. I'm going to crop this. Okay. And the other thing with Capture MIDI is it works both in arrangement view and in session view. So you can do it in arrangement view too. It's one thing to just let you know. And like I said, it'll record. If you want to overdub, you can overdub too. Let's say I want to, well, let's straighten this out first real quick. I'm just going to Control-Shift-U, quantize this. Actually, I got to select all of it. Select all. I'm going to deselect these triplets to do them on a triplet grid. And let's quantize that. Now let's quantize these triplets. Turn on the triplet grid. Okay, there we go. All right, so I got my little sketch there. And you know what? Sometimes I export these MIDI clips into my own library, so I have these little sketches for myself later. You could do that by right-clicking on it. If you're capturing MIDI and you have something already going at a tempo, then it's not going to reset the tempo. If you're playing the transport and you're going to capture new stuff, it's going to actually just keep the tempo that's in there. And also, when you're capturing MIDI, it will figure out a tempo if it's anywhere between 80 BPM and 160 BPM. So if you're something higher or lower than that, you might want to set a tempo and then capture from that with a click or figure it out. But its best range is between 80 and 160 BPM. So if you're using the transport and you're going to play, it's not going to change the tempo for you. It only does that when you're not playing the transport. It'll set the tempo to the phrase that you recorded or captured. What else can we do on Capture? So we could overdub. All right, let's play with some melodies. I'm going to try to capture inside with an overdub. Again, I don't have to push record or anything. As long as the track's on monitor, let's watch. See there, I got a little thing. See the capture here? I push it, it just recorded right in to this track here. So you can overdub with the capture too. It's a little capture overdub. So that's Capture MIDI. You can get a lot of ideas out quickly without, you wouldn't believe, without having to push the record button, without having to be worried about playing it perfect and stuff. You'll get a lot more ideas down with Capture MIDI. I use it all the time. This is Matt from The Second Spirit. If you like this video, please give a like. Subscribe if you like my Ableton videos. I do Abletons and some live streaming with Ableton. I got some freebies in the bio, check it out, or in the show notes, check it out. Always got some freebies, Ableton freebies. Thanks for watching, guys.